I'm in my 14 carats, I'm 14 carat, doing it up like Midas. Now you say I got a touch, so good, make you never wanna leave. So don't.
Alright guys, let's get started on this Selena Gomez inspired look. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and tape up the corner of my eyes. This is going to give you a nice cat eye shape without all of the work. And I'm actually putting it where I want my lower lash line to meet, so a little bit outside of the corner of the eye. Now I'm going to go in with my Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC, and this is just to prep the eyelids for shadows and make sure that there's no veins popping through. This is Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek. I'm using this because it's close to my skin tone, and I'm just putting that basically all over the lid, all over the crease to set that primer. Now I'm going in with my Morphe palette and this cranberry shade, and I'm using a smaller blending brush by Makeup Geek, and I'm putting this into the crease, and I'm slowly bringing it over to the inner part of the eye, and then I'm also going to bring it down on the outer corner, creating that nice cat eye shape. And I'm just going to keep building that color up until I am happy with the intensity. And in the picture, you can't really tell what she has on her lid, but I decided to go with this shade by Urban Decay. It's the shade called X, and it's basically like a nice yellow-based shimmery shade. It's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I'm just placing that all along the lid. I felt like this would just bring a little bit of shimmer and glam to the look because it was a red carpet look, so why not add a little shimmer? So now I'm going in with the same palette, the Morphe palette, and with this deeper cranberry shade, and I'm deepening up that outer V to really create some dimension and some depth to this look. It's probably a little bit more dramatic than what she had on in the picture, but I figured, you know, it's pretty much similar. And now this is Barcelona Beach by Makeup Geek. I'm using this right over top of the cranberry shade, just a little bit above it actually, to blend it out and make sure that everything looks nice and gradient. Now I'm using my platinum colored NYX shimmer roll-on stick. I think that's what it's called. I'm placing that kind of right on the center of the eyelid and then tapping that out. This is actually very powdery, so be prepared for some fallout if you do try to use these. Now I'm going in with my Inglot number 77 gel eyeliner. It is the blackest black eyeliner that I own. I absolutely love this. Every time I pull it out, I remember why I bought it in the first place. And I'm kind of using my tape as my guideline to create my winged eyeliner. I'm just doing a little bit of a wing because she didn't really look like she even had winged eyeliner, but I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz to the look. So there you go. You can take off your tape and clean up underneath of your eyes, and your lids are done. Now I'm going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is in the shade Ebony, just to shape up my brows. And when you are doing this, I could have gone a little bit bolder actually if I wanted to look exactly like her, but I decided to keep it more for my skin tone. But with this product, the Clinique Just Browsing or Give Me Brow or whatever you use, really flick your brows up, because in the photo it really looks like they defined her brows by flicking them up and making them look nice and full. So that's what I did there. Now I'm using this eyeliner. It's a Khol eyeliner pencil by MAC. I'll have the name listed below, but it's a brown eyeliner. Looked like to me like she had a brown eyeliner in her waterline, or it had a little bit of a brown tint to it, so that's what I used. And now I'm using that same lighter cranberry shade from the Morphe palette and a pencil brush to smoke out the lower lash line, and then just blending over top of that with a blending brush. Now I'm using my Lights Camera Flashes mascara for my lashes, and I'm just putting a light coat because I am going in with some falsies, and the falsies I'll have the name listed below, but I love these. They're nice and full and voluminous, perfect for a red carpet look. Then I'm using whatever is left over on my brush to add a little bit of definition to the lower lash line. Now, I also tight lined my upper waterline with that NYX black pencil, and I coated my lower lashes with some mascara. This is White Lights by Makeup Geek, and I'm using this just to highlight my brow bone to bring that eye look all together. I feel like I have to highlight my brow bone or it just looks incomplete to me. So that is the eyes completely done. Now we can move on to the face. Now I'm using my Super Stay Makeup by Maybelline. I can't remember what shade this is in, but it is a 24-hour wear makeup, and I'm using this with a damp beauty blender to blend that all into the skin. This is going to give you a nice matte finish, and that is exactly what it looks like she had in this photo. She did not go crazy with highlight. It looks like a straight up matte finish, not really any contouring to the face or anything. Now I'm using my Naked Skin Concealer. This is, I can't remember the shade, I will have it listed below, but this is the most natural concealer, I feel like. And in this photo, again, it doesn't look like she has any highlighting or contouring going on, so I thought this was the perfect concealer for this look. It's going to give you that nice natural finish, and everything is just going to look nice and matte. So I'm just blending that in with the pointy end of my damp beauty blender until that is all nice and blended in. Now I'm going in with my Aesthetica Cosmetics Contour Kit and using those two shades, the banana shade and the vanilla shade, to pop on underneath of my eyes to set my under eye concealer. And then I'm using my BH Matte Pressed Powder to set the rest of my face. Again, this is a matte look. I do not go crazy with any type of highlight in this look, and I actually absolutely love it. I think it's fresh, I think it's clean. Now I'm going back in with that cranberry shade and just cleaning up underneath of the eyes. I lost a little bit of that intensity when I put on my concealer. This is my Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. This is a very natural bronzer. This is in the shade light to medium. I'm just doing a little bit of bronzing just to add a little bit of color to the face because I was looking a little bit like a ghost. And even though she doesn't have any contouring, it does look like she maybe bronzed up her skin just a smidge. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going in with the shade Cabana Boy by the Balm to just give my face some color, adding just a little bit to the cheeks, a little bit, because it does not look like she had much on in the photo at all. So I kept the cheeks very, very light. Now for the lips, she had a extremely nude colored lip, and I thought it was so pretty, and I'm using the shade Beige by Bobbi Brown for the lip liner, and this is Creme de Nude by MAC for the lipstick. And then I believe I went in with See-Through just to add a little bit of gloss. It looked like she had a little bit of a glossy tint to her lips, and that is the completed look. I do set the makeup with my all-nighter makeup setting spray by Urban Decay, but overall I feel like this was a super easy look to create. It's pretty simplistic. There's not a whole lot of craziness going on, and with the tape you can create the eyes pretty simply. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. If there's any other celeb inspired looks that you would like me to create, definitely leave that in the comment box below, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.